Hey, it's Blue October at Pointfest.
Hey.
What's going on? All right.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, that's all right. You do whatever you need.
We're
The next 10
back.
minutes are all about you.
Hey, Jeff's wife. Just want to say hi, Jeff's wife. Hi, Jeff's daughter. I love y'all.
So, okay, first and foremost, we were talking to Will just a second ago.
To Will,
you were
my boy.
Introducing me to Will.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that has become so apparent to me over time in meeting bands and talking to bands is that word chemistry. And how absolutely, positively crucial that is. And you can probably even like someone personally, but maybe not have that same musical connection. And it's got to be all of that.
It's got to be all
statement
that.
ever.
Yeah, you vibe with somebody. You can vibe with anybody, you know what I'm saying? But when you get musically, like the other night, take for instance, we played a show last night. And just backstage after the show, I was listening to some cool Miles Davis jazz, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to Bill Evans jazz, and he sat down with me, and for 30 minutes, we just started discussing how piano and jazz and the art of rock and roll make us feel. And just by talking to us at the end of the conversation, we were going, woo, woo, I love what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and then when we're on stage, you can play chords and this guy will go off. It's a chemistry thing. It's a bonding thing, but the true lesson for a new person in a band is whether you can live with them in the bus.
Right on. But you don't know that.
Some people don't shower, dog. Some people don't shower. Some people don't change their socks.
Okay, but then what do you do when you like a guy that you're auditioning with or what have you, but then you start to do shows and you're like,
You sit down with them and say, we need to have a real big talk. I love you. And you would tell me if I have a booger on my nose, right? And he'd say, yeah. And I'd say, you got a big booger on your nose. And it's called you need to take a shower.
And that's a legitimate conversation that you have had before.
Not with this guy.
No, well, right, because he's here.
Oh, yeah, not this guy. He smells good. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the single here.
Yeah.
I Hope You're Happy is doing incredibly well nationally.
Thank
We're
you.
having a great run with it. And I got to be very honest with you, and please don't be mad at me when I say this. The very first time that I heard that song, I thought, this is not at all what I would think Blue October to be. And when I came back to it the second and third time, I was like, ooh, this is another direction, and I like it a lot. And it just grows every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is that, I mean, was it a purposeful, like, sort of right turn?
We all grew up on so many different styles of music. And like I said, we discussed jazz, opera, hip hop, urban rock is our foundation, and alternative rock is our foundation. So when we went into the studio this time, we wanted to write music like, remember when we were growing up and you'd watch a movie like Pretty in Pink or something like that, and Ducky was in love with that chick, or John Cusack held the radio up and played In Your Eye. We wanted to write an album like that, but with some balls behind it. So I Hope You're Happy was that song. So we just wanted to slap a little bit of groove on it and just play it outside of the box.
And what I find to be very fascinating, and we can, talk about as much or little of this as you want, but I mean, you are locked in to know how this record is doing. Like, because sometimes we get bands that'll be like, oh, we're at number 17 on the chart. That's awesome. We're up 50 spins, and they know what's going on. And then some bands are just like, oh, it's out there and it's happening, but you're locked in, man.
We watched the chart on it. Like, Paul right now is outside checking you checking the daily right now? Where are we sitting, bro? There you go.
Look at that.
Positive spins. We got our bullet back, baby. That's all our conversation is. My wife has to tell me and Paul, his wife, the same thing. Put your phone down. Stop checking media base.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So.
But does that take any of the fun out of it for you, though? Like, no?
My whole thing is Paul will kill me. I don't want to be number one. I don't have to be definition of success, and I'll speak for you guys too, because we've all discussed it, is having a roof over our heads, having kids that are healthy, having wives that love us, we love them, and having these adoring, amazing supporters. That's it. Mm-hmm. You playing us is this added blessing and bonus. So it's just like, I can't believe we're here, and every day is this new, exciting thing.
How long does it take you to get to that, though? You know what I'm saying? To get to where because it sounds like there's definitely that you get it, you love it, but there's a genuine appreciation happening here, too, of it.
There is, because back in 2007, when we had a lot of songs hitting really hot and going, when you hit number one, you go through this thing where you always are competing with that one again. when you stay around number 15, 14, you have this dodge and weave thing where you're still cool and you can still surprise people with another single. You know, that's where I'm at. My manager probably wants to kill me right now because he wants number one. But like I said, the fact that we rolled up today and we said, y'all remember in 2000 when we played Pointfest? And it was our first festival gig in 2000. And we were the band when the gates opened. Y'all let us play next to a Bud Light stand. And the gates opened and we played James and Angel and Breakfast After 10. And we were just like, we've made it. You know, that exciting. We don't ever want to lose that vibe, and we're not. We love each other, and we love y'all, and all that. I'm going to let somebody else speak.
Well, first of all, we're going to learn, for next Pointfest, I think we're going to bring 20 microphones just to make sure that everybody is taken care of. So I'm really sorry that that we don't get those. But with this said, you know, you talk about playing your first Pointfest. St. Louis has seemingly always been a spot that you guys have really, I mean, you have just really resonated here.
We have lots of fun in this town. Absolutely, every time we come.
Yeah, and we absolutely love having it.
You know, the only reason that we resonate in this spot is, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh God, I love you, is because you're playing us. That's people don't get that.
Well, and they have over the years. I mean, from the first single, Breakfast After 10, to, and there may have been a few that you did or not, but we're all still here together, and we keep coming back. You keep asking us back, and we love it. I mean, we have memories from almost 20 years ago at Pointfest, and that's amazing.
Yeah, you just are one of those bands that like, and you're not, it's not like the feeling like a local band, like I know you and you're my buddies, but like it has that sort of like, like our buddies, like our like sort of that sense to it, and it just makes it that much better and makes these interviews that much more fun, and the sets that much more fun as well. Real quick before we're done, talk a little bit about the doc. Oh, damn it, two things. Record, when are we getting it? And talk about the documentary.
Okay, so check it out. August 17th, the record is coming out. But if you pre-order it right now, you get 2 free songs, and every month we're going to give you another song. So you'll have 5 songs by the time the album is released. Documentary, a lot of people are like, when is it going to be done? It has to be perfect. We've been filming for 6 years now, and it's one of the most precious things that we've ever laid our hands on. So we're going to be getting it out this year. But it's got to be perfect. So as soon as it's perfect, it'll be done.
I love this era of technology in the sense that there are more music documentaries than ever.
It's
and
amazing.
as just a total music nerd, it is so fantastic to learn. I mean, because sometimes there's docs you're watching about bands that you don't even necessarily care about, but you get locked in for whatever reason. That happened with me and the Eagles. I'm not a big Eagles guy.
Me too.
And that documentary was great and totally fascinating. Then I put a bunch of Eagles on my phone for a while. Then I took them off like 2 weeks later. So
have you seen the Peter Gabriel? What is it?
It's the
Classic albums. Oh my God!
Did he do it for So?
Yes, for So.
No, I
we
haven't
got the
seen that
chance.
one.
This is how good life is, dog. Let me tell you how good life is. Then I'll leave you alone. We were in Germany, right? And I said, man, I would love to go see that studio that he recorded So in. And they said, well, it's only an hour away. And we drove there. We're UK. Well, I don't know. But we drove there. We drove our bus down there, and we got to visit his studio where he recorded all his albums. And I just sat there and said, if life ain't good, baby, you got a problem.
That is something else.
It's something else, man.
We just get to, and I'm not even in a band, but I get to do stuff that I'm like, this is really ridiculous.
Right?
It's like, this is really absolutely ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a pinch yourself thing.
It is.
Gentlemen, Blue October, we love having you
Thank
here.
you.
Thank
God
you
bless.
so much,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Very much.
Thank you.
Blue October backstage at Pointfest. Peace.
That was brilliant.
That's awesome, man.